What is up guys, it's your boy Soul. I'm here, back with another Classic WoW video for Season of Discovery Phase 4. Now today we're talking about gold making in Phase 4 as a whole, and just a general topic video for gold making. I'm going to be touching a little bit on how to make gold in Phase 4, but it's mostly going to be about investments and a couple of tips that I can give you right now, based on items that I just picked up really cheap at the announcement of Phase 4. Now, the thing is, when Phase 4 got announced, well, first of all, we have 51,000 gold, not bad, 48k in investments, and 3k gold right here, so once again, that's not bad. But the announcement, well, yesterday when I'm making this video, probably going to be more time before it goes public, because we have a couple of backlogged videos to make now, and also, videos like this are always published in early access to anyone that has my gold making guide, which you can check out through a link down below in the video description or the pinned comment if you want to get early access to gold making videos and a fully finished gold making guide for vanilla WoW. With that being said, the second when the next phase gets announced, so in this case that's Phase 4, items tend to boom up in price at the second the phase gets announced. People go straight to the auction house, they buy out everything, and they flip the prices. A couple of examples here could be, for example, Elemental Fire, which has gone up in price 3 times in the last 24 hours on my server. So yesterday, before the announcement, I could buy these for between 20 and 30 silver each, and they are now 90 silver each. There's a couple of them for 90, and then jumping right up to 95. So they've been going up in price quite a bit, because once again, Molten Core Fire Raid, you want to have some fire protection potions, and with the Heat level 2 and Heat level 3 requiring even more fire protection or fire resistance, these are going to be an insane demand. The same thing happened to Heart of Fire as well, even though a couple of them are available for 1.3 right now, and 1.4 as well, which is really close to their old values. Another item that, for example, boomed up quite a bit was Fire Oil on my server. It's now 146% of the regular market value, and there's only a couple of them for this price before it jumps up to 80 silver each, or 170% of the quote-unquote normal value, right? So it's already jumped up by 70% on that item as well, because they're using consumables that will very likely be available in the next phase. We also saw things like Arcane Crystals go up in price, and if you put in golden pearls, they over doubled in price. They are now selling for 140 gold. They used to be 60, sometimes even down to 50, and I bought them for even cheaper than that. So they jumped up quite a bit yesterday. They are 219% right now of the value, because once again they are useful in Phase 4, and when we have an announcement plus a release date available for the next phase, people start panicking, and they start panic buying, and some people start panic investing as well. So based on this, there's a couple of things I wanted to show you. First of all, not everything booms up in price. I bought a lot of dream foils both yesterday and today for all the way down to 1 gold each and all the way up to 1.4. As you can see, I have bought 6,000 of them. Now I bought about 2,000 yesterday, and the reason why is that, well, once again, they were one of the very few items that were not affected by the announcement of Phase 4. And when I think about it, I can use the dream foils to make, for example, greater arcane elixirs, which will still be in demand as a consumable in the next phase. They're items, materials, or they're materials required to make consumes in the next phase. Now, yes, dream foils will be a little bit easier to farm as well in the next phase. First of all, we get epic mounts, so faster moving in the open world, which means you can farm herbalism and mining at a better efficiency, and you can also do dire mole farming for herbs as well. So dream foil will be in higher supply, but will also be in a lot higher demand. Right now, the demand in Season of Discovery is literally at a very low point. There's so little people raiding right now in the current phase. So the point here is that once again it's an item required in the next phase, and even though supply goes up, demand also goes up substantially in the next phase for this item. So I think based on that, the item should be going up in price, just because of, first of all, inflation, people coming back, a higher demand, and I don't think the supply will keep up with the demand for this item. Now I also bought a bunch of not dream foils, but Mountain Silver Sage, which cannot be farmed in Dire Maul, and and I think I effectively reset the price of these, because I bought them for 1.6 yesterday, and I bought literally all of them. I think I spent about 2,000 gold on Mountain Silver Sage alone, so I don't know how many that is, but that's about 1,000 Mountain Silver Sages bought yesterday. So I think I successfully reset the price. It's 1.9 right now, and there's only a couple of stacks available until it's 2.7 for Mountain Silver Sage. So if you can get some cheap Mountain Silver Sage on your server, definitely worth looking into, because once again, even though we can farm them faster in the next phase by the essence of being higher level, farming in higher level zones, and having access to epic mounts moving faster, I simply don't think that increased supply will match the increased demand, especially once again considering the low point we are at right now in phase 3, where barely anyone is doing Sunken Temple. It's gone down so much. You can just check out Warcraft logs and you will see how little people are actually buying things and are doing raids. Now, the reason why I want to bring this up is that most of the investments you can do right now that haven't spiked in price, because on, for example, Golden Pearls, it's too late. Buying Golden Pearls for 140 gold, it's too late, and likewise buying, for example, Elemental Fire for 90 silver, very likely too late. Now, for Dreamfoil and Mountain Silver Sage, it's definitely not too late, and the same thing for Grum's Blood. I bought Grum's Blood yesterday as well, because they're cheap, and even though they will be easier to farm, they're also going to be in higher demand, and wanted by all the warriors using Mighty Rage potions, right, in phase 4. So for anyone who feels like you are late to the party for the investments, think about materials and try to invest into those. Herbs, mining veins, even arcane crystals, or things that generally haven't spiked in price yet. And for me that was Grum's Blood, Dreamfoil and Mountain Silver Sage. Because there's a time to buy and there's a time to sell. And I want to talk about that because the time to buy would be now, but many items has gone up in price. So you want to buy the ones that haven't. And when it comes to when should you sell your investments, the more items you have, the faster you want to start selling, and sometimes you want to sell the news rather than sell the content, which basically means if you have any phase 4 investments, instead of holding on to your phase 4 investments until phase 4, sell them when phase 4 gets announced. That is the newsletter about phase 4 that WoW World of Warcraft posted on the YouTube channel, which generates a lot of hype for the next phase, and you want to start selling now. If you have any Golden Pearls, which I do for example, start selling them now. You can see that I'm selling a couple myself, Solheim Bank right here, so I am selling these, but there's a lot of competition, you get undercut literally instantly. So yeah, Golden Pearls, start selling now if they have spiked on your server, and Elemental Fire, if they're like 1 gold each, definitely start selling now, I would say personally. And for all of those items, start selling now. Another item that also boomed in price was Librum of Resilience. It's up 546%. Definitely start selling now if you have these. Apart from that, phase 4 is going to be a little bit interesting because we have a 2-week, well, 1 or 2 weeks between the release of the content itself and the raids. 1 week into the phase we will get the release of the world bosses, right? And 2 weeks after we'll get Molten Core. To me that gives us a 2-week accumulation phase, which means that is 2 weeks where people will be level 60, or like the people that level fast, they will be 60 in 1 day. So that will be 2 weeks of being level 60, farming level 60 content, and buying materials, because once again people are going to be level 60, get their epic mounts, and start farming. At that point you will have a very high supply of items, and very low demand, because nobody's raiding yet, but 2 weeks in, that will shift to where less people will be actively farming and more people will be actively raiding, because prior to that the raids were not open, and when the raids open, less people will be in the open world because those people will now be raiding. They won't be farming because they'll be raiding. It's literally a supply versus demand kind of cycle here, and the point is the first 2 weeks supply will be higher than the demand, which also means a lower price. After 2 weeks that will shift to where demand is higher than the supply, and then the prices will go up. So if you haven't been investing anything into phase 4 and you feel like you're behind, or you're thinking, is it even worth going into phase 4? When I'm so far behind, people have like tens of thousands of gold, and you only have a couple hundred gold? And the answer is definitely. Use those 2 weeks to your advantage. You have a 2-week accumulation phase where you can do so much in 2 weeks. You can make thousands of gold in 2 weeks by just simply understanding the whole supply versus demand aspect and why that shifts when the raids open. So accumulate, 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 farm gold, make gold, spend gold. And then you want to spend the gold, obviously. You want to buy things that you think go up in price when the raids open. Think about Heart of Flame, think about Elemental Fire, think about things used in enchanting materials. And the thing is, any new Season of Discovery content phase, if you can somehow farm brand new materials, focus on that. Think about the Shredder turbochargers from phase 1, for example, how good that was, and even Dark Iron ordinances from phase 1. Exploit early, exploit often, farm early, farm often. If you find something really broken, go and do it. And yeah. That's basically it though. That's a video about gold making for phase 4. I wanted to touch a little bit on gold making early, talk about the 2-week accumulation phase, and talk about buying versus selling right now. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, definitely leave a like down below, and yeah, hopefully it was helpful to you. Either way, thank you so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I will see you again in the next video very soon.